What's up? I am Adrienne and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I want to say hello and I want to welcome you. I hope that you stick around. I really enjoy my channel and I hope that you enjoy it too. In this video, I wanted to quickly talk about how to show your faith and even how to be an example of faith to your children. Now, if you've been following me, you would know I have two teenage boys, and so it's really important for me to show what faith looks like. We've all been given a measure of faith. We've all been given, it only takes a mustard seed of faith to do anything. And if you've ever seen a mustard seed, it's really itty bitty. And so you only need that amount to do amazing things. And so we've all been given a measure of faith. And so what are you going to do with that faith? How are you going to apply it to your daily life, and then grow your faith until it becomes great faith. Now, in the Bible, they talk about Abraham having great faith, and we can all get there if that is something that we desire to do. Now, if you've been hanging with me for a while, you know my story, quit the job, so that in itself, y'all, that's huge. That's just stepping on out there in faith. And, it's situations like that where it's just I don't have control, and it's just Lord, you're gonna have to make a way. So I'm totally depending on God, and my boys know the situation of me quitting my job. I want to spend more time with them and be present for them, especially my oldest is getting ready to be a senior and my youngest is a sophomore, and he's basketball, and I just don't want to miss anything because you don't get those moments back. So I took a huge leap of faith and quit my job so I can do that. And I didn't do it with hesitation because I know God has my back. So I am exercising that mustard seed of faith. I am exercising my measure of faith. And, even if you think oh, Adrienne, I don't have that type of faith to do that, you don't need a lot of faith to do anything. I mean, think about it like this. When you get into your car and you're turning the ignition, that is faith that car is going to start. And even when you're driving down the street, your faith is being applied because you're believing that car is going to get you from point A to point B safely. Anytime that you board a plane, y'all, that's some huge faith that you're allowing the pilot and the co-pilot in this huge plane to carry you from one destination to the other. So you do have faith. Don't ever think that you don't have faith. You do. If it's a situation that you're going through, you just need to learn how to apply your faith to that situation. The Bible says without faith it's impossible to please God. And so with anything you're going through, if it's your finances and you're looking at your bank account and you're okay, I need X amount of dollars to pay these bills, but my bank account is saying that I only have this. Don't get so caught up on what your bank account looks like. Get caught up on what God says about you. And you are you live a life of abundance, and you have to have that mindset of abundance. Don't get caught up on, we do look at our bank account, it's oh my gosh, are you serious right now? But at the same time, we serve a big God, and he can handle anything. The testimony that I've given in previous videos, I didn't have anything, and God just provided. And even in this season, I just believe that he will provide. And so I just want to be an example, especially to the boys, of what faith looks like. I want to be that earthly example of what faith looks like. And even when as they're growing up and they are trying to exercise their mustard seed of faith, I want them to pray about certain things and believe God for those things. Of course, it starts when they're little, because as they're little and they're praying and you're trying to teach them about faith, and say if you're hearing them pray, okay, and they're saying, Lord, I really want, say, this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toy. Okay, I just came back from the movie, so we're going to use that for an example. And they're praying, I just want that, that little toy or whatever. Me being the parent, I'm hearing the prayer, and, God is, he wants to give us, his children, you know, more than we want to even give our children. So in that, you know, to help them to, you know, to get great faith, yes, I go out and get the toy, you know what I'm saying? Because I want them to know that God heard their prayer, and God can use anybody to answer your prayer. So in that moment, you know, as they were praying for the toy, God used me to get the toy, and to me that, you know, will help them to build their faith, because it's like, hey, I prayed for that toy, and you know, God provided that toy through my mom. So I just believe as I'm getting older, I can pray for things and God can provide. Now the thing about like faith also is, you know, you have to have patience with faith, because you know, sometimes you may pray and it takes a little bit longer for things to come to pass, or things happen quite differently than what you expected them to happen, or how you expected them to happen. But things will happen when they're supposed to happen and how they're supposed to happen. So you have to trust the process. So you know, like I was saying, I just want to be an example to my children, and it starts off, you know, a little bit at a time. You know, exercising my faith. I personally believe that I have great faith. I just, you know, I'm like, Lord, your word say it, and I'm testing him. I'm like, okay, what you gonna do? Like, because, you know, it's not gonna come back on me like I have failed, you know, or whatever. I'm testing you at your word, and your word says this, so you're gonna have to come through. You have to show yourself. You're gonna have to prove yourself. You know, even with tithing, you know, I talked about this in a previous video, that, you know, he'll open up the word says he'll open up the oh my gosh, why can't I say it right now? You won't have room enough to receive basically all that he has stored up for you, and he'll rebuke the devourer for your sake. And so, you know, me being a tither, me being a believer, me being one of faith, I'm like, okay, Lord, these bills are adding up. You know, I'm going to do my part, of course, and like try to budget and, you know, not spend more than I make or more than I have. But at the same time, Lord, I know you're going to come through. You know, we talked about debt cancellation in the last video. And, you know, one of my family members here on YouTube, it talked about how their college debt was eliminated. That's the kind of God we serve. And he wants us to believe. I mean, yeah, believe for the small things, but he also wants us to believe for bigger things. Believe for everything. You know what I'm saying? Quit trying to put God in this box like he can only do, you know, little bitty things. Lord, I know that this is, you know, I don't want to stress you out, God, because this is such a big thing. God is like, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. I'm going to handle it. And, you know, he wants to take care of his children. So whatever you're going through, you know, as a human, it's hard being a human, okay? And this is all of our first time being a human. So we're all trying to figure it out. So no one is pointing the finger at you if you don't get it right, because we're all trying to just do the best that we can. I just personally want to like be an example, be a testimony, be that encourager of faith with you, because, you know, even though I'm not with you personally, I'm pretty sure a lot of us have gone through a lot of the same situations, and we should be there to encourage one another. You know, back in 2018 is when I was able to pay off all my debt except the mortgage. And that's huge, you know, and maybe, you know, people that have been in my circle have never seen anyone do that. And so I can be that testimony. And I even have friends who, at the age that we are now, they have paid off their mortgage. Come on now. That's like awesome. One of my friends, he even has 4 homes that are paid off. That's so cool. So those kind of stories, they encourage me too. And so that's why I want to encourage you, and, you know, tell me in the comment section how you've been exercising your faith financially, emotionally, physically, any kind of way that you have been stepping out and trusting God with your situations. You know, it's something that, you know, you might have been hesitant to do in the past, and you're like, okay, God, I'm going to just step out on the water like Peter, and I'm going to trust you. And as long as we don't take our eyes off Christ, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're going to be okay. So in this season, whatever you're going through, be encouraged. Be you. Use the faith that you have, and the faith that you have can like move mountains, and it can grow. You know, so don't ever get discouraged. Like, well, I prayed and it didn't happen. You know, it didn't probably happen the way you wanted it to happen. But God gonna work it all out. And it's gonna happen the way it's supposed to happen. So if you are stretching in your finances right now, give it to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? If you are struggling, you know, emotionally, give it to the Lord. You know, yes, seek, you know, if you need to talk to a counselor too, do that too. But do it all. You know what I'm saying? I am not anti-therapy. If you need it, and not even anti-medication. If you need it, you need it. You know what I'm saying? But just include God in it, you know? Just include him in whatever you're going through, and it's all going to work out. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. I like encouraging people, as you can tell. And I can go on and on and on. This video will be much longer than it needs to be. But let's step out on faith as we're going into a new week. Because these weeks, y'all, they are flying by. You know, I pray for me that I am an example for my boys of what faith looks like in the flesh. And I am out here just trusting God. I don't know what I'm doing. I am just trusting God. That's all I can do. And that's all I want to encourage them to do as well. I might make mistakes. And I'm like, Lord, you're going to have to pick me up and help me to get back on track. Because, you know, it is what it is. And God understands that, you know, we don't know what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing. Let's just admit that. But he's so patient. Well, if you like this video, hit thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please, I want to encourage you to do that as well. Trust him with your finances. Trust him with whatever situation you're going through. It is all going to work out for your good, okay? Be encouraged as we go forth. As this month is like flying by, it's going to be September in just like a hot minute. So, all right, I'm going to go. I'm tired. I've been going, y'all. Also, last thing, sorry. Follow me on my other social media platforms, because that way you see more behind the scenes of my life, like especially on my Instagram. You'll see more of that, and I hope you're enjoying the shorts that I'm putting up. If you're not following me on TikTok, please do that as well. I love making videos. I love people, and I love you, and I appreciate you from, you know, sticking with me through all of these videos. So I'm gonna go now. You stay blessed and you take care. Bye.